Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing not a content actually. I'm going to be reviewing an interview that I didn't see, but I saw a couple of clips and I read some news and other stuff from Reddit, and I realized this is a big deal right now. Currently, it's talking all over the world, and it's about it's an interview of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, and hosted by Oprah Winfrey. And this interview is so big of a deal right now because they dropped some big information about the royal family and the problem that they were facing at the time when they were planning to leave the royal family, what happened after they left the royal family, and all the drama that was going on inside and outside of those families, and how the media treated them, how the security was taken up from them, how they were mistreated by other family members of the royal family as well. This interview became a very big issue right now because we know now a lot of things came from those two that we listened before, but we didn't have any kind of proof or any kind of authentication before. But this time we do, because this is coming from them, not from other media platform or something. So this is a huge deal. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry got married in May 19, 2018, and then this marriage made a lot of controversies, more than the Prince William's marriage with Princess Kate, because this is something that broke all the stereotypical thing that exists in British royal families. Like you have to be a person from royal family. That was broken in the previous marriage of Prince William and Princess Kate, and that had only one issue. That was, she was not a member from royal family. She was just a commoner. But marriage of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle broke more stereotypical boundaries that was existed. She just wasn't the member. She broke what kind of thing? She was not a British citizen. She was not from a royal family. She was divorced. She is an American, and she is an African American. All those things never existed before in British royal families, and they all came together in this one marriage. So this was a huge deal back in the time, back in 2018 when they got married. And also another thing is Meghan Markle was an actress before this marriage, so she had this popularity, she had this thing that never came attached to any other member that was married into the royal family before. So this is a big deal. This was a big deal, but the marriage was going strong, but they received some backlash from the family. They received backlash from the tabloid company, the journalist. They treated them differently than other members. So this was the thing that happened. Now I didn't see the interview, but I tried to know what happened, what went down in the interview, and what kind of information was dropped in that interview. So I wanted to know what happened there. So they left the royal family during March 2020, and between that meantime, what went down, that's what came in the interview. And we know now a lot more before we knew anything about those things. The trauma, the incident that caused Meghan Markle to do suicidal thoughts and all of this, everything came in front of the world after this interview went down. So I want to talk about it. I want to talk about some bullets that I listed, and I didn't see the bullets. I didn't see the bullets yet. I want to talk about them, and let's see what kind of points was dropped in this interview, and I want to talk about it the way I want to. I'm not going to state fact. I will in some way, but I'm not going to state fact like any journalist. I'm just going to say what I want to say, what I feel to say about those information or about those incident that happened between Meghan Markle and Prince Harry against their royal family and British journalism. So let's see the first point. So in this Reddit post, they listed all the bullet point that was dropped in the interview. I'm going to say one point, and then I'm going to review that point or talk about that point, and I'm going to talk about other points as well. So the first point that I'm seeing in this list is that number one, when Meghan spent time with the Queen, she felt welcomed. She told a nice anecdote about the Queen sharing the blanket on her lap during a chilly car ride. This one information is giving me a positive view towards the Queen, because most of the time when you hear something that went down inside the British royal family, you immediately think about someone that's on the power level, and when you think about that, immediately think about the Queen. So hearing that the Meghan Markle actually admiring Queen, that means that this drama has nothing to do with the Queen. Maybe she does, but actually Meghan Markle was quite respectful towards her. So who was, or which family member was different towards her? I think that's what we will know after I read other bulletins as well. The second point is that Meghan never made Kate cry about a disagreement over flower girl dresses for the wedding. Kate made Meghan cry, but it was a stressful time. Kate apologized and it was a non-issue. Yet 7 months later, the story was leaked with Meghan as the villain. I remember this happened it was big news at that moment that Meghan just got married into the royal family, and now she is playing the power move. She is making Princess Kate cry, and this news was published. Of course, this news was published in a way that make Meghan Markle look like a villain, and yes, this is a new information. This information, they said that Kate didn't cry. It was Meghan Markle who did cry in this situation, and it was a stressful time. But the case was solved. Also, the case was solved. They apologized. It was a stressful time, and they were over dramatic in a way. So they came in term. But after 7 months, this information was leaked, and when the information was leaked, it wasn't nothing was mentioned about the stressful situation, or who cried, or why they did this kind of thing, or why this incident happened. They straight up went that Meghan Markle made Kate cry, and that made her look like a villain. So that was a clear information from Meghan's point. So let's just go with that. The third point was that the praise played up a rivalry between Meghan and Kate. When Kate ate avocados, she got positive articles written about her and her food choices. When Meghan ate avocados, she was contributing to the death of the planet. When Kate touched her pregnant belly, it was sweet. When Meghan touched her pregnant belly, it was attention-seeking, vile behavior. That's two examples of many. Now, this is not. I don't want to say this is the problem of they wanted to make a rivalry between them. I think this is the true nature of journalism nowadays, because this is what you see a lot in the journalism nowadays. We saw how journalists, those news agencies treated First Lady Michelle Obama and First Lady, I already forgot her name, Mrs. Trump. Let's just say Mrs. Trump. When she wore something gorgeous or something nice, the news covered it up, covered up the news like she wore something great, something nice, something elegant. She looked stunning and all those things. When Michelle Obama wore something, they straight up brought up the price tag in the news. They always talk about the price tag, like look, she's wearing this $7,000 worth of shoes, or $20,000 worth of gowns, or she's wearing a watch that worth $10,000 or something. That never happened with Mrs. Trump or Yelena. Yeah. Mrs. Trump. Okay. So this kind of thing, this kind of rivalry, this kind of one-sided news, we saw a lot of time. And it's not just in British journalism; it's in the whole world. So it's not a surprising bullet point for me. I've seen this kind of thing like for a while now. So this is nothing, in my point. On several occasions, a member or more than one member of the royal family made comments about the skin tone of the children Harry would have with Meghan. Harry wouldn't say more, but it clearly hurt him and created a rift. This is, I think, the biggest point of this interview, in my eyes, because that's what shows how racist the British royal family is, or how many racist family members exist. They didn't say that several occasions. It didn't happen once, it didn't happen twice, it happened several times. And they just said a member or more than one member. That means every time when they had a family occasions and they came together, every time a couple of the family member mentioned them, then how Prince Archie would get her skin color, like if he's going to be a black person or someone who's going to be white or mixed. Of course there's going to be mixed. I mean, Meghan Markle is an African American, Prince Harry is a British royal family. Of course it's going to be that, but their concern, their question made them look like a bunch of racist people, because that's what it is. They were concerned about someone's skin color before that person was born. So yeah, nothing else. They didn't. They could have asked how's the health, how the baby's growing, is there anything happening, or any update. The straight up question, I guess, I think about the skin color is going to be. This is a racist thinking, and that actually exposed a huge point of this royal family members. There are so many racist people in this royal family that it's scary. They had no problem with other stuff. Like when Kate got married, the only boundary that she crossed was this: she's not from royal family. And when Meghan Markle got married, she crossed so many boundaries that were set by the royal family, and one of them was the skin color. One of them was she was not purely white. So this is something, I know it's not surprising in a way, but when you actually heard them that they face this kind of thing, instead of like presumed, or like people saying things that indicates that point instead of saying them directly, that's actually huge in my point of view. So Meghan was prepared to work for the royal family in the same capacity that other family members do. She was given no training for the role. She did her own research to the best of her ability, with no guidance beside Harry's advice. This is something that it's a discrimination in a way, because she is of course she's not from royal family, so she don't know a lot of things that royal family is grew up with, or the etiquette and manners or rules or things like those. She didn't know about that. The only person who advised her was Harry, her husband, and other than that, no one else. So it's quite sad in a way, because when you become a part of the family, you want support from that family. And judging by Meghan Markle's past and the struggle she faced when she was little, and after that she got married to another huge family trees that existed for hundreds of years, a royal family that's treated like one. And that's where she also get discriminated again at this stage of life. That's actually quite saddening, quite disappointed and heartbreaking. So I understand her struggle, and I understand her complaint about this, because she deserved it. She deserved the training, she deserved the questions to be answered, and she had to be acknowledged by those family members, which she wasn't. Just by reading this point, I know that she wasn't fully accepted by the royal family for a long time. I think she isn't still accepted till this day to the royal family by so many other family members of royal family. So yeah, I think this is actually a little bit more shocking than the racial point, because I guess, yeah, when time goes on, people accept towards them, and they forget that, well, we should give her a chance, or stuff like this happened, like when it happened with Kate. But she didn't get this treatment. She was outcasted by them for a long period of time, and some people still outcasted her. So it's a very sad point. The family slash the firm told her she would be protected from the press to the extent they could manage, but that was a lie from the start. She was sabotaged in the press, and it often took a racist bent. The family never stood up for her in the press or corrected lies. Yes, this is something public. Before this interview, she was treated so badly by the news agencies or journalists or tabloid companies, but the royal family, I've never seen the royal family made any statement about this. The royal family never made any statement about that point that the journalists are saying are extremely racist or inappropriate, or it's lies, or any kind of information that like they could indicate or address. They didn't do that. They also all those banter was going on against Meghan Markle. That was never stopped. When Kate's marriage happened, they also attacked that she's not from the royal family, blah blah blah, but that stopped after a certain amount of time. That didn't stop for her like for 2 years, because she was married in 2028 and she left in 2020, and between this time Meghan Markle was making news every once in a while, and she was not getting positive news at all. She was always getting those racial comments like the first black member, or all those racial comments or comments that make no sense to her personality. They also brought up her family trees, so, how her father was abused, an abusive person, and all those stuff that had nothing to do with her. Those things came, and the royal family never addressed that. So yeah, that's something, another great point that she brought up in this interview. Another point is there is a symbiotic relationship between the royal family and the tabloid. A holiday party is hosted annually by the palace for the tabloids. There is an expectation to wine and dine tabloid staff and give full access to exchange for sympathetic treatment in the news stories. Now, yeah, this is another information that goes with the previous information that I just talked about. So they always had this relationship with tabloid staff members, but it happened for 2 years. So they never mentioned this, and they never stopped this. They never tried to stop this. This is something like, yeah, the family member never tried this, and this is another example why they failed or why they didn't. If somebody questioned like, well, how do we know that they tried and they didn't listen? This is another point. They actually had 2 annual, I think, let's just say 1. They had 1 of those annual party, and even after that party, they stated those information of Meghan Markle. They continue this. So, yeah. The family slash the firm wasn't crazy about how well Meghan did on the Australian tour. which echoed memories of Diana doing surprisingly well on her first Australian tour and winning over the public. It's not clear on how this manifested itself. Meghan said that through the family would embrace her as an asset because she provided representation for many of the people of color who live in Commonwealth, but this wasn't the case. This is something also another point of discrimination, because when a family member or a royal family member made a tour to other countries, and it became a very big issue in the royal family and the news agencies. It wasn't covered like that when Meghan Markle did the Australia tour. It was nowhere to be seen. That's another issue, that they didn't treat her like those agency treated other family members. But she is like a direct lineage. She is married to the Queen's grandchildren, so she didn't get this treatment like other people did. But she did a huge thing. She represented people of color of Commonwealth country, and she didn't get enough praise that she deserved. So yeah, this is another point, a great point. Meghan's friend and family would tell her what the tabloids were saying about her, and it became very stressful to deal with. She realized the firm wasn't protecting her at all. She says her only regret is believing they would provide the protection they promised. This is another point that I think we talked about. The tabloid information is coming again and again. They promised her that they will give her protection, and they didn't give her that protection that they promised. So that's another point. I think this point is being talked like over and over again. She dropped a lot of information, and most of them were that she was promised the protection from the tabloid company being racial towards her, or misinterpreted her thoughts or her actions, and they promised her that they will protect her from those kind of mistreatment, and they didn't. So this point is coming like again and again. Archie was not given a title, and without the title was not entitled to security. Meghan said a policy changed while she was pregnant with Archie that took this protection away from him, but the details of this are unclear to me. Other comments I have read make this muddy. Okay, the person who wrote this Reddit post, who made this statement, or she pulled on this way, so I'm quoting her or him. The main information is that Archie was not given the title. So when she wasn't, she didn't get a title, so she's not entitled to receive any kind of security or such. So this is a kid from royal family without any security at all. So this is a big deal. Like, this is the biggest discrimination so far they received, and they changed a policy while she was pregnant. That means that seems like they changed this policy only to show this discriminative behavior towards Meghan's son, Archie. And this is also a big bullet point to my eyes, because it looks like one of those badly written drama that's happening, and but it's real life. So what can I say? And Meghan didn't choose to not give Archie a title, but the family had it reported in the press that it was their choice. Now this is a lie statement by the royal family. They say they did this thing and they put it on Meghan and Prince Harry's shoulder. It was like they are the one who didn't want Archie to have a title, but in reality, they had nothing to do with this. It was the royal family who decided that he will not receive a title. But they totally ignored that fact, and then they said this like it was their fault or their decision that their son will not have any kind of title. So a misinformation was spread towards the world, and it was like, and this misinformation also made Meghan look like a villain as well. So What can I say? When Meghan was feeling the most isolated and abandoned, she started having suicidal thoughts, which really scared her because she had never felt that way before. She asked for help in appropriate places and received none. Harry asked for help too and got nothing. This is another discriminative behavior towards them. She was clearly depressed, she was clearly having suicidal thoughts, and she was asking for help from the royal family, and the royal family declined it. She also asked for a rehabilitation program issued by the royal family, and they also declined it. Prince Harry stepped on it, and he asked for the help, and he also was declined by the royal family. So it was like they had no care towards her mental health, and they just abandoned her in a way. So this statement also make a huge impact towards everything that we've seen or we've read in bullet points. So unbelievable stuff that actually was dropped on this interview. I cannot believe this information was leaked in this interview as well. Now we know so many things that we didn't know before. She didn't get rehabilitation or anything. Once Meghan married into the family, she did not have her passport or ID or car keys anymore. This doesn't mean she couldn't have them if she needed them, but it seems like she would have needed a good pre-approved reason to have them. This is like you didn't get married to family, you just got yourself admitted into a prison, or this family, this royal family itself is a rehabilitation center. This is how she was treated with a person who's American, who's African American, got married to a family, and then the family took your passport, your ID card, your car keys and everything from you, makes you incredibly vulnerable to a family that has nothing to do with you in a way. A family that don't approve you, and a family that don't want you to be a part of this family, but they also don't want you to go away, like get help by yourself. Yes, this also said that if she want to get those things back, she will get it, but she needs a reason. I don't think this should be a point or a law or a rule, because you don't want this in this era. You don't want to be approved by anyone to leave or needed your passport or ID card or your car keys or stuff like this. You have sole responsibility and power to retrieve those things. You are the only one who can have those things, no one else. But this is like a rule or a family etiquette that's made only for Meghan Markle. So I don't know. Even when she wasn't leaving the house, the press was reporting on her as if she was an attention whore, roaming around town and starting problems. Another misconception spread by the news agency. She wasn't leaving the house, but the report says that she did, and she was doing all those stuff. So how abusive and aggressive the media was towards Meghan Markle, those kind of points makes it like makes you think twice that this kind of thing happened with her. I don't know what to say anymore. Finally, Harry made the decision to take a step back. He wanted to become a part-time level working family member. They wanted to move to a Commonwealth, New Zealand, South Africa, Canada, and Seattle on Canada. They expected to keep working for the family on a part-time basis. Stories were published misinterpreting their departure. The Queen was not blindsided. She was notified and waiting ahead of time of the plan. The idea of working part-time was taken off the table. Their security was removed entirely. Now, this is a huge point in my thought, because for this entire year or for a long time we knew that Prince Harry just left like this. Boom, I left. No, they followed a procedure, and the procedure was not like, I wouldn't want this burden like this and all those stuff. I just want to be a part-time worker, like as a family member, but they didn't want that. They took this option off the table, and they just took their security altogether. So this is another huge point. Like, all those things that Harry did, that part-time membership, or he want to step down, this procedure that was followed, this negotiation points, all of those things was ignored in the British media. They just straight up made this point, like Harry left the castle, or Harry left the British family, and he want to live a normal life as well. All those points that was in this point wasn't announced or made public. This is the first time they made it public. So, and that's another point that I think was huge in a way. Scared of being unprotected amid numerous death threats fueled immensely by the racial press, they moved to one of Tyler Perry's and American actors' houses, and he gave them security. Later, they moved on their own home and presumably fund their own security now. Harry felt trapped in the life he was born into. He feels compassion for his brother and father who are still trapped in the system. Okay, let's not talk about this point, because this is not a big point in my eyes. He just being sympathetic towards his family members who he thinks is trapped. So I'm not going to talk about it. Let's talk about the whole thing, the whole interview, because that's the entire point of this this interview. All those points were like this. I think that's about it. When this happened, when she left the the royal family with Harry, the news was like Meghan Markle is rebellious. She wants to be her own. She wants to start her working as an actress again, and all those stuff that made her look guilty as hell. And what happened, what went down, actually was totally ignored. And after a while, now this is what I'm seeing. This is what the whole world is seeing. So what we saw before was just a fraction of the information we actually knew about, and that information was flooded with a lot of lies as well. So it wasn't pure anyway. I have no idea that this information that was dropped in the interview was pure in a way or not, but it's true that the racial problem is still there, and the royal family is not like it's a surprising thing. They're racist towards people, and this happened before, and it's just sad because this is 2021 and you know about this kind of stuff is happening today in royal family. So it's saddening, and I wish Meghan Markle and Prince Harry all the best to their future and their future life. I hope they're okay. I wish a good health to Archie, and I hope they get a good closure, and I really hope that this drama, this stuff, should be a lesson to the family, the royal family, because they have to grow up in a way. There's no way you can continue this for hundreds of thousands of years. There are times when you will fall down, and there's time when you will feel that a change is due, and you need to do this. What happened to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry was not a good thing. They deserved respect, and they should have given enough chances to prove themselves, which they didn't get. They tried their best in a way, and they didn't accept her or him, the racial comment to Archie's skin color was disgusting, and all the stuff that came in this interview was saddening and heartbreaking and devastating in a way. So I really hope this thing is continued, where people talk about this more of this content or this interview. I really hope that people make more content about this. I've already saw this content that about their body language and stuff. They're talking about the interview and stuff. So I'm going to be watching more and more about this. Also, Oprah said that all the footage was not released in a way. They said there are more footage in there. So I think if this second part of this interview come up, I'll try to watch this as well. Who knows how many information we'll get from that interview as well. Until then, thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you will be seeing my channel again. I'll be doing this kind of video more and more if I get a chance. Until then, bye. Just bye.